This is draft analyst Lance Zierlein's mock draft. Now, Lance is from NFL.com, and he's the guy that writes all of the draft comps and draft analysis of different players that you read on NFL.com after the combine. He has Abdul Carter going 1 to the Titans and Travis Hunter going 2 to the Browns. Hunter can come in, start at wide receiver or cornerback right away, have a big impact at either position for the Browns. Lance, they need playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. You look at it, and we showed a graphic earlier in the show, and we showed it yesterday. It's Kenny Pickett, it's Jerome Ford and Pierre Strong at the running back position, and then it's Jerry Jeudy, Cedric Tillman, David Bell, and at wide receiver and David Njoku. You need probably a quarterback and 2, maybe even 3 guys to threaten the defense with the ball in your hand. What are your thoughts just about Hunter?
Well, I'm a huge Hunter fan. I think he actually have Mason Graham as my number 1 guy in the draft this year. The guy I like to break it down the mess, but Hunter, Graham, and Abdul Carter are 3 guys that are going to be difference makers. And it's funny because I think Hunter can be he's the first guy in a long time, and I think could be a dominating guy on both sides of the ball. It'll be interesting to see how they create touches for him if he's a corner. The idea of him being a corner opposite of Denzel Ward has to be very exciting as well. So create touches for him. Now, there's other guys, if they go a different route, there's other guys, the Luther Burdens. There's some guys that'll be available on day 2 that fit their need, the slot receiver. They have that big outside number 1 in Jerry Jeudy, and they also have some guys on their roster that they like. So they need to find a space touch guy in the slot, and there's some Luther Burden. Emeka Buka might be around at 33. If he is, that would be automatic. I would turn that in before the second day even starts. So there's some guys out there, but you're right. They need guys that can create touches. They need to improve their tight end position again. That needs to get younger. That needs to get more explosive, especially since the fantasy's going back to calling plays. So there are some holes on this roster. There's some high-end level guys at the top, but they need to get some depth at some certain positions. Obviously, playmaker is one of them, probably the most important. I agree with you on that.
So this was interesting. I was a guy that always thought when I looked at Travis Hunter, he looked kind of thin, maybe a little lean. Wide receiver comparison, and it's a pretty good one. So Travis Hunter is the exact same size as Chad Johnson, later known as Chad Ochocinco. 6'1", $185 for Hunter, 6'1", $188 for Chad Johnson. So that eliminates some of my concern. Can Travis Hunter take the pounding in the NFL? Because I thought he was, to be honest with you, I thought he was going to come in under a $180. I thought he'd come in about 168, 172, something like that.
Well, I'll tell you what, there's some guys, linebackers when they blitz, receivers when they're getting up. There's some guys that play skinny and they avoid big hits. And I got the chance to watch a lot of Travis Hunter over the last couple weeks. And that guy avoids getting killed. And it's amazing because he's not afraid of the ball. He goes and gets it, but he has such spatial awareness, such body control, both sides of the football. That's one of my major concerns with him as a defender is he's not afraid of contact. He's not a prima donna whatsoever. He will stick his nose in there. And we know with Denzel Ward, that's not always good as a corner. So he's a guy, he is. He's long. Not only is he 6'1", but he plays longer than that, especially if those 50-50 contested balls downfield. He has great acceleration. He's an elite talent. He's a 5-star guy. Obviously went to Jackson State with Deion and then went to Colorado. But he's a guy who his talent is through the roof. And he's a guy you don't worry about his weight per se because he plays skinny and just avoids those big hits with his spatial awareness. It's pretty uncanny when you watch it on film.